Early in the morning, man. Couple of days to the Sabbath. Well, one more day to the Sabbath, today and tomorrow. But I know it's a hard journey for me. It is. Yeah, I found this article in a video. I found very interesting. Um, this is in regards of the CIA and the ice gun. I did a video on this some time ago, and it was taken down because of some other stuff that I had in the video that YouTube. I don't know if it was YouTube or Facebook, but they had an issue with it. Nonetheless, I found it very interesting. I'm not going to be long, probably like about 10 or 15 minutes at the most tops. But I think you'll find this interesting as well. This is check this out. It says the most shocking of Church Commission's findings was the targeted assassination operations of the CIA used against foreign leaders, allegedly. Fidel Castro wasn't the only name on the CIA hit list. So the CIA, they have a hit list. This is why you got a lot of so-called white people upset when people in high positions bring out the dirt of America and how America is evil and America has a history of evil, just like a history of evils, just like other countries abroad. They want to sweep America's evil under the rug, but America's evil place in government. And you can compare it to Russia, and you can compare it to a lot of the countries around the world. America has hit lists. America has taken over countries under the table and made shady deals and destroyed people all over the world, especially people of color. And a lot of times, uh, get to the riches and the wealth and the resources and the control of different governments, you have to take out the leadership. It's very necessary. Then at the same time, Esau, they fight against each other. So you have both groups manipulating and taking advantage of people of color all over the world, especially if they're fighting for their freedom and fighting for a breakaway from the devil, Esau. But it says Fidel Castro wasn't the only name on the CIA's hit list. Congo's Patrice Lumumba, Rafael Trujillo of the Dominican Republic, Vietnam Nguyen Dinh Diem, and General Rene Schneider of Chile were all targets of the CIA sanctioned killings. I hope I pronounced those names right. But some I am familiar with, like Patrice Lumumba. You also had Stephen Biko. You had a chance. Wesley Snipes, not Wesley Snipes. Denzel Washington. He played Stephen Biko, which was a great movie about a South African revolutionist. Great movie, but nothing gets under the radar of the government as well as the devil. Nothing. So they've been after Fidel Castro before he passed for many, many years, and black people in this country love Fidel. I think he visited Harlem. They love Fidel. That's why there's so much pressure on Cuba, because they fear that Cuba is siding with Russia and that could be a threat. Then you had the Cuban Missile Crisis in the '60s. You had a lot of that thing. A lot of things are going on. You have a lot of things going on now behind the scenes. I keep telling brothers and sisters, you think that this country is not capable, moral wise or conscious wise, as you think it's not capable of doing the evils that we read about. Since the clandestine service had its people research all sorts of various ways to killing its targets. CIA. The CIA soon latched onto poisons, one that were undetectable and appeared to mimic a heart attack. Check that out. Again, it says the CIA latched onto poisons, ones that were undetectable and appeared to mimic a heart attack. They found it in a specially designed poison engineered for the CIA. Only a skilled pathologist who knew what to look for would ever discover the victim's heart attack wasn't from from natural causes. Sorry. So they would poison you, and you would have to be well skilled to determine how this person died, if it was an assassination, murder, or just natural. To deliver the poison, the injection was frozen and packed in a dart. This is old too, man. This is not. This is back in the days. This is not recent. Darts from a new secret assassination gun would penetrate the clothing, but leave only a small red dot on the skin's surface. Once inside the body, the dart disintegrated, and the frozen poison inside would begin to melt, entering the bloodstream and causing the cardiac episodes. Shortly after, the deadly agent denatured quickly and became virtually undetectable. They even brought the gun to show Congress. So this is a very true story. This is not made up. This is not a James Bond movie. This is real. I definitely recommend a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I think it's by John Perkins. Great book. Even Farrakhan mentioned this book in one of his speeches. Great book. It shows how this government takes over countries, put them in debt, even assassinates people around the world. The Church Commission and its finding caused a massive frenzy in the United States. People became hungry for more and began to get hysterical in the wake of any news about the CIA. In the aftermath of the Church Commission, President Ford and later Reagan had issued executive orders banning the tactic of targeted assassinations by the CIA and other intelligence agencies, which I don't believe that crap. They still doing this. What became the poison dart gun for anyone else? What became of the poison dart gun is anyone's guess. A lot of you don't believe these devils are capable of this. A lot of you think that this is all lies, and you're not capable of this. You're going to find out the hard way. These men are devils. And they do whatever wickedness necessary to maintain control of the country. Any wickedness. I like this article too. This is what's not an article? It's a video. Let me get to it. Spare me one moment. But you better wake up, because we went through various scriptures showing you that the devil has a short time to live, and to keep his power, he will stop at nothing. To keep his power, he will stop at nothing. And our salvation is right around the corner at that. Right around the corner. So as we get closer, they're going to get more wicked. Now, brothers, remember Khalid Muhammad. He was once a member of the Nation of Islam, was kicked out, and started what was called, or he associated himself with what's called a New Black Panther Party. And they said he was assassinated. I've been hearing that for years, and I believe it. Once you start to pick up momentum and you go against the grain, you're taken out. But I'm not going to be long. I just want you to hear a little bit of this video. I like this dude, Taharka Bey. He does a platform called Morris TV. I've been watching this guy for a couple of months now. I like this guy's style, man. I mean, he's into the Moorish community, follows Islam. I'm not, banging on the brother for his beliefs, but I like how he gets down on his shows. And for a while, him and the conscious community, they've been going back and forth at each other. But anything that I can learn from, I gravitate to. But check this out.
What our understanding is, what our understanding of revolution is, or what it should be, even if it need to be unfolded, evolved, or whatever. Dr. Khalid, he embodies the kickoff of a revolution. He embodies that. You know what I'm saying? And,
He was.
And to remove him would be trying to stop the revolution. You know what I mean? You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't stop you can kill the
Anybody that uplifts so-called Negroes and Hispanics, they're a threat to the government, and they have to be taken out. So it's no secret that Malcolm X, he was taken out by the government and with the use of the Nation of Islam. There's a great documentary, Who Killed Malcolm X, on I believe it's on Netflix. But check that out. Great video. And it not only shows you the evil of the government, but the evils of our people. And as I'm watching this, or when I watched this video, it made me think, how do you know? Here's a question. How do you know that we don't have agents among us, and that the levels of these agents or the skills of these agents haven't been the reason why we can't unify and get our act together as a body? How do you know when we have issues about the law is no more and brothers destroying and sisters destroying organizations based on the doctrine that the law is done away with? How do we know that those aren't agents causing this disruption to divide schools, camps, churches, buildings, and scatter the sheep? How do we know that? How do we know that at the top, not just the bottom or the middle, but at the top, whenever the doctrine comes out that the nations could be saved and we should incorporate heathens among us, how do we know that's not the government or agents among us causing this friction and dividing the churches, dividing the camps, dividing the temples, and scattering the sheep? How do we know, or how can we be concerned sure that it's just brothers not uniting and getting together? These are things that have crossed my mind over years. And when I watched this brother Taharka Bey on his platform, I considered these things because the brother he has on his panel goes into specifics on agents, not just in different organizations, but outside of the organizations, trying to destroy anything that unifies so-called Negroes together. So, I mean, it's just a thought. How do you know the friction is not caused by agents? And don't get me wrong, some things definitely are wicked brothers and sisters among us. But maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's an inkling of a chance that we're not as bad as we think we are, and that the friction and the hatred among us is instigated by outside forces. Is that possible? I mean, it's just something to think about. It's just something to consider. The scriptures do say that wolves shall enter into the congregation, destroying the flock. Those wolves and the destruction that they cause, is it just pertaining to biblical issues, or can it be just to associate themselves with the government for money and greed and material wealth and gain, and then destroy the flock by any means necessary? Not just biblical issues, slander, lies on the leadership, made up things against the organization, a push for us to be recognized as a hate group. How do we know that this is not just internal, but external and caused by government? I mean, it's just a question. It's just a question. But a serious question, something to really think about, something to seriously, really think about. I mean, I'm thinking about it.
Revolutionary, but you can't stop the revolution. But
that's correct.
To be someone trying to stop the revolution. So with that being said, that there quite naturally there will be other players. Who are some of the other players that you may think that had some type of involvement to pull this off? Because it had to be bigger than just one person.
Oh yes. I hope you're ready to hold on to your seat.
Well, I'm asking the questions. I told you this one about heroes. Let's go.
And I hope everybody's all right, because well, what I'm about to say, I tell you, it shook me up. It shook me up, brother. So I know that it shook a lot of other Muslims up, and a lot of other Christians too, and black nationalists. Now, brother, in 1993, when I tell you what I'm about to tell you, I'm telling you, it's going to shake you up. So I hope that you're grounded in what you believe. In 1993, when Dr. Khalid was moved down, he didn't get out of the Nation of Islam. He was put out. When he was put out in 1993, it was for, quote unquote, the speech at King College. Now, let me take you back to 1989, though, and you'll understand 1993. When the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was on.
This is why I say you can't trust no organization. Every organization on this planet has been infiltrated. Every organization, every religion that brings us together or that's diverse or opposite of the government has been watched or infiltrated. I used to know this Muslim guy in Harlem, and we would go to the gym together on 135th Street. I would see him in the gym, and he would attack the Hebrew Israelites and our organization and what we wore and what we taught, and I would attack the Muslims. I would call them bedsheet Muslims, and I would just get on them. You rock worshiper, because in the Kaaba is a black stone. I would go in on them, but it was all in fun. It was serious. We meant what we were saying, but it was all in fun, and we grew somewhat close to each other. Because I respected the brother to a certain degree, and he respected me. But one day, I went on. He came in the gym. I said, I'm gonna get this dude today, and I was going into the whole rock worshiping thing. He worshiped a black stone, and he wasn't shooting back at me. He looked very, very upset, and the woes of life was weighing on him. And he said he saw some very disturbing things in the mosque. I believe the mosque was on 116th Street and at that time. And he saw some very disturbing things, and he was very upset. I backed off because he was very serious. And I told the brother, listen, brother, man, we all got problems, and every organization has a form of corruption in it, even including mine. And I'm an Israelite, and I'll tell you, brother, we're men, and men are born in wickedness and evil, and men are going to do bad things. Now, I went into the scripture the other day in Corinthians about that we should come together for the better. I mean, for the worse and not just for the better, or vice versa. I can't remember exactly how it goes. But the Most High says that there would be many heresies among us, that those who approve would be manifest, and they're going to stand up in the last days. And I truly believe this. I believe that we're going to break down so bad that the Most High is going to raise up small groups and pockets of sincere men, and then those men are going to be led by the Holy Spirit, and those who are sincere, they're going to follow those men. I don't claim to be one of those men. I don't know. Maybe I'm the wicked. Maybe I lack understanding. We'll see in time. But this is what I believe. I believe the larger groups, they're going to fall, or they're going to be revealed for corruption, or the Most High is going to put a spirit on them to expose themselves as false groups. That's what I believe. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, the way it's playing out, it surely looks this way. But anyway, this brother was very upset. He had a host of problems. His sister was involved with one of these Old Testament Israelites, and she was being used by her husband, which would be his brother-in-law. He was upset about that. And he said, I seem like a nice brother. He want me to take his sister. I said, I can't do that, man. That's adultery. And even so, I don't know what his sister's about or what she even looks like. I couldn't do that. But this is how, how things played out between me and the brother. But my point is, you can't today, you cannot trust anybody unless you see the fruits of the Holy Spirit radiating off them, jumping out the eyes, coming through their gum lines and over their teeth. You cannot trust anybody. You can't. Every organization has been infiltrated, but the Most High's plan will go on. They will not be. They won't be able to destroy the Most High's plans, but at the same time, a lot of brothers and sisters, they're going to be taken out, and the scriptures tell you that. tell you that grievous wolves shall enter into the congregation, destroying the flock and scattering the sheep. So some brothers and sisters, they will be led away, following the wrong teachings, getting caught up into men and worshiping men, having respect of persons, a change of doctrine to wickedness. This is all part of the Most High's plans, and this is where a lot of people who are in their emotions, they get bent out of shape and they lose faith and they're destroyed. But you have to keep going on. You have to keep moving on, and you have to separate yourself from the majority of a lot of these brothers and focus on upright, righteous brothers who think like you and who know how to get down in the spirit like you. This is what you got to do. Check this out, though.
On Phil Donahue, and the question was asked if the white man would be able to be a Muslim or to get inside the Nation of Islam. And he said, I know a lot of brothers are going to be angry with me. He said, but yes, this was a big quarrel in the Nation of Islam among, and Dr. Khalid kept the dignity of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because they told us that it was just political talk.
See, this is the way that respect the persons come in, man. And you got a lot of brothers and sisters who are serious. They want to really make things move. They want to really make things happen. But you have brothers at the top or on the sides who are about money and power and recognition, and this is what's holding things back. This is what's holding things back. So this man, he's going to actually, Farrakhan, man, is no way he's following what who they call the honorable, the messenger. Excuse me. There's no way he's following old school traditional FOI, Nation of Islam teaching. There's no way. There's no way he's following that. And it's because of the greed and the money. The money takes over a man's mind. Even in our organizations, I believe that the leadership at one point was serious. I don't believe that the majority of the leadership started off corrupt. And I believe down the line, through money and power and what you can achieve and get with money and power, that, at some point in time corrupted the leadership, as well as the CIA and the FBI and the powers that be. They will step to you when they see you growing, and they will divide and destroy that organization, or at least try to control it. If you control the head, you control the rest of the body. And that's what's happening. Not just in this organization, but in all organizations. So Farrakhan doesn't follow the traditional teachings of Elijah Muhammad. There's no way. Now, white people can be in the Nation of Islam. I heard one of his own sons is with a white woman. You cannot defeat or talk about the truths of the enemy and what they're doing to our people and associate yourself with white people. You cannot uplift your people and bring them to freedom, whether it's spiritually, whether it's spiritually or physically, if you have white people in your organization. You cannot. You cannot.
And he said this one time before when he made the trip to England before he passed. He also said, I hope that this is just a political plight to move the black man further to where he needs to be. Now, I said all that to say this, that in 1989 and 1999, these two things were said by Dr. Khalid Muhammad. He hoped it was a bunch of political talk. In 1985 to 89, when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is making these appearances and making these speeches, brother, he's becoming friendly with these white folks. Proof of which, in 1993, he declared that Father Flagel was his friend. Now, I want you to understand that Father Flagel is a Catholic, he's white, and he's a homosexual. I want you to understand that, brother. I want you to understand that. This is no secret. Now, I want you to search what I'm saying to see if it's true. See, you should always search.
Now, how many of you believe that? Because I believe it. I believe it. You got brothers and sisters who are in the knowledge, but have white friends, not associates, but white friends. On the job, I say, what's up to the white man, the white woman. How about those Cowboys? I'm friendly. The scripture says, if possible, be at peace with all men. So I go along to get along, just like they go along to get along with me. But I'll tell you this: if we had to choose between our people and other people, I choose my people, and they would choose their people. I acknowledge that we are in a war. I acknowledge that these are times where we have to unite and get ourselves together, not mix and rainbow and twist and twirl with the enemy. I've worked on Wall Street for many years. You think I'm going to walk around with fringes on and death to America in my eyes and kill Whitey on my tongue? Can't do that. I had a job on 6th Avenue years ago, and they wanted to uh I was working temp, and they wanted to bring me on with full benefits, medical, holiday pay, vacation, 2 weeks vacation. You know, I was so stupid and caught up into the rah-rah to hate the white man rah-rah. I turned those things down. And my aunt was like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" I had an aunt that was working at that same spot. "What is wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with taking the benefits and the money." But this is how insane I was and unbalanced I was. You have to be like the spook who sat beside the door, a great book. And you have to infiltrate and supplant just like they do. But we do it from a righteous perspective. Be a supplanter, be Jacob, Yaiquab. But don't be a stupid idiot and emotional and get caught up into the rah-rah. There's no sin in that. The white man runs this planet. He's the devil and the physical arm of Satan on this planet. You cannot avoid this man. Agree with your adversary quickly, you know, unless you want his foot in your ass. Excuse my language. It's early in the morning. I'm trying to focus. I gotta get out of here. The sun. I gotta get dressed for work though. But consider these things. Consider this.
And if anybody is true in what they're saying, they don't mind you searching to find the truth. So this causes a problem. This causes a dilemma. And there was a lot of Muslims. I want you to understand this. That there was a lot of Muslims that were turning around. They were itching at that point. They were upset. They were confused.
Yeah, because they came all this way with this man for him to say he's friends with white people. Then you read about him, Farrakhan, opening his arms to Scientology. Scientology. Tom Cruise is a part of Scientology, and a few other stars. I think John Travolta opening his arms. Now, you know, I'm not going to play the whole video, but in this video, this dude said Elijah Muhammad would never have allowed that. Would never have allowed a brother to walk into the temple with his arms arm in arm with a white woman. But Farrakhan, one of Farrakhan's sons, is married to a white woman, and she comes in the temple, from what I'm hearing. This is why you don't see these brothers on the corners like you used to, selling bean pies and Muhammad Speaks, whatever newspaper they sell. You don't see them on the regular. Even when we went to the Million Man March, they didn't have the same spirit they used to have. I remember we was trying to set up camp in DC, and I walked into a pizza joint or some type of restaurant, and it was filled with Muslims. I would never think in that time you would see Muslims eating junk food. They would have their own food setups before they go and eat junk food. But you can see the weakness and how the Nation of Islam is falling apart in these times. Look around, check it out for yourself. You don't have to believe me. Check it out for yourself. You see how weak and fragile they are becoming. When the leadership goes, when different ideologies and doctrines come into your organization and rips down or breaks down the foundation, you see weakness. You see weakness. And that's what I see. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I see. So this brother, he drops a lot of facts. Some things are questionable, but some things you can't refute.
I want you to understand that they have been told, tied, and tucked, run amok, brother. They had been confused by this thing that was said. Now, I said that to say this: is that when you tell me out of one side of your neck,
check this out,
that the white man is the devil, and then a white devil asks you, who's a reporter, a journalist, on one of the most evil talk shows that I've ever seen in my life, which is nothing but a cog for the CIA and the FBI, Phil Donahue Walls, and all the other white talk shows. That's what they are, and some black ones like the Breakfast Club. So when you get to the point where you would say the white man is your friend, brother, I have to pay attention to you and say that either you're duped or you're trying to dupe me. And I want to allow you to dupe me.
I've seen brothers on Wall Street, well, one brother at least, walking with the white man. And he's walking towards Water Street, those of you who are familiar with New York. And he's with these crackers, and they coming towards me. And I'm walking towards them. And the brother recognizes me from camp. And you should have saw the look of fear on this brother's face. Now he's with these devils, and they're walking towards me. We getting closer, bump, 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 closer and closer to each other. Fear's on this brother's face because he think I'm going to say something just outlandish. I just nodded my head. Hey, how you doing? And kept going. And this is how you got to operate. The level of ignorance among us is just ridiculous, and at an all-time high level as well, man. He thought it was gonna be, how about shut me out with Shy Who you? Why you with these Edomites? He should have saw his face though. But I know he was relieved once we crossed paths, and I let him go, and I saw him another time. And I would expect the same treatment from any brother towards me. If you see me with the devil, we in the white man's world, and he's trying to hold on and keep his power. He's trying to keep his rulership.
When you say that the white man is your friend, when you raise up the brother telling him that the white man was the devil. Now, that's one of the players that worked along with the federal government in 1993 to 1995. I'm telling you what I know. You can check this because the House of Representatives and the House of Senators also passed a bill that Dr. Khalid Muhammad was to be silenced. Now, you can check this, and the minister was complicit in moving him. Now, they talked about the Day of Atonement, and they talked about the Million Man March. Al Sharpton, brother, one of the most low-down, milky mouth and milly mouth black brothers that we have in the community.
What's a milky mouth?
One of the best sellouts that we've had since Ralph Abernathy. Best sellouts. Had problem with Dr. Khalid being moved down. He wanted him to speak at the Million Man's March. This is a fact.
Bottom line is that if Khalid Muhammad would have spoken, he would have ripped America down. He would have ripped the white man down. He would have ripped sellout Negroes down. They couldn't have that. They couldn't have that.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan would not let him do it. I'm telling you what I know. I carried the message. Telling you exactly what I know. That brother, they didn't invite you. You're not welcome. Now, When we were at Abbott.
I'm not going to continue. I got to go to work, man. But, just something to think about that. A lot of the problems we have, it could be very well be from, provocateurs. It could be from agents. It could be from a lot of things that's external. It doesn't necessarily have to be us in our wicked mind frames. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm not trying to sweep all wickedness under the rug. I'm just saying these things, we have to consider these things. We have to consider these things. And I mean, this is no joke. This is no joke. We have to consider these things. We have our issues. Don't get me wrong. We definitely have our issues, and we have a lot of work to do as far as getting ourselves cleaned up. But the wolves that have entered among us, and some who have crept in unawares. What if? And I'm speaking as a fool. What if some of it is not just doctrines and just biblical nonsense because their minds are poisoned by the devil? What if some of the grievous wolves and some who have crept in unawares is sent in by the government? What if? Tell me your opinion on it. But you gotta consider these things, man. And you brothers and sisters, you stay strong in the faith, and until next time, please like and share this video. All right. Shalom, and have a blessed and beautiful day. I know I will. Most High as well. Shalom.